What are you really thinking about when you think about that?
Yeah.
And and it's like there's no unconditional positive regard. It's just let's explore that more.
Mm.
I'm stopped in my tracks. Oh yeah, what am I really? If I'm obsessing about climate change all week, what am I really thinking about?
Correct.
Not to say that I'm not thinking about climate change and reading books on it, but the terror,
Yeah.
the absolute 3 in the morning terror, is that really what it's about? Or
Hmm.
is there something else going on, Joe? Those conversations have been game changing for me. I feel really different from 2 years of that kind of process where I can go as deep as I need to. And I'm not just going to be told, oh, maybe it'll be all right. Or maybe you know what? You're doing well.
It seems a pity to lose the therapeutic opportunity that fear of anything presents, whether it's
Yes.
climate change or death or some other thing.
Yes.
I think those two fears are closely related, if you want my opinion.
Oh,
And
100%. Yeah.
add fear of sort of not living a full life.
Yeah.
For the therapist to say it might never happen, that's a useful thing maybe to hear from your friends. And I don't necessarily think it's a terrible thing to say, but you're missing out on an therapeutic opportunity to dig into it properly.